Hi, I'm Tommy Thompson, and this is AI in Games, a YouTube series about how AI works in video games and the research that uses games to change the state of the art of AI technology. I've made a lot of videos at this point, around 100 of them in fact since I launched this channel back in 2014, and I figured it was time I reached out to you. So let's not bury the lead. AI in Games is going to be experiencing some changes this year. This will include some changes to the videos I make, how I make them, and how they're presented.
Hey everyone, I'm Tommy, and this is my face. Wanted to make this video so I could discuss the changes that are coming ahead, why I'm making them, and if you're on board with it, how you can then continue to support both myself and the community that we've fostered in and around this weird and wonderful YouTube experiment.
Almost 9 years ago, I had a dumb idea to make YouTube videos to support my students. I was a university lecturer in the UK teaching game development, a job I took on a few years after graduating from my PhD in Artificial Intelligence for games. It was a marriage of two of my passions, though despite my not really knowing what the heck I was doing, it slowly gained a following after a couple of years, notably thanks to a certain video on the AI of alien isolation. The channel has experienced a slow but steady growth over that time, breaking 100,000 subscribers back in early 2020, being recognised in the gaming press, and over time getting access to stories from developers themselves as they began to trust and respect the work that I do, knowing that it's done not just with a great attention to detail and accuracy, but for a lot of love of what my fellow developers create. But it's a YouTube channel that's never been financially sustainable, and to this day still fails to do so despite the wonderful support provided by my community. That meant it has always been a background consideration to my career in academia, one which I have been suffering a professional crisis with as far back as 2017. And so for the past 2 years, I've been working evenings and weekends to put together something quite exciting, as the impact this YouTube channel has had on my life continues. And 3 months ago, I put it all into effect. In September of 2022, I quit my job at King's College London and walked away from my academic career of 10 years, thanks largely to the fact that since before the pandemic, I started doing an increasing amount of work in the games industry, and this includes consulting with companies big and small on all things AI for games, be it research, design, or development. AI in Games, my business, is now in its 3rd year, and I've worked with over a dozen companies since then. It's a business that is sustained not by the performance of new YouTube videos, but instead the existence of the YouTube channel. Many of my clients I've worked for in recent years reach out because they watch the YouTube series. By making this change, this alleviates the financial burden of my YouTube output, because now the most important thing is that every video maintains my standards of quality I have established, given my goal is for each video to support the developer community, but also provide some fun and educational content for those of you who simply enjoy playing games. This now means that my livelihood is tied to this channel, but actually in a different way. I'm actively working with games companies right now, and I'm always on the lookout for new work. This is how I survive and provide for my family. And hey, if you work at a studio and are keen to have a chat, check out the business inquiries info in the video description. This means that the YouTube channel now gets a new lease of life. Its success helps buy my time out of contracting for studios, to give me time every month to focus on producing content for you, and to hire in more people to help improve the overall production and function of the channel as it services the community. To kick off this new era and style, I decided I wanted to do a bit of a refresh and try out some new things, but also do some of the older things a little bit better. So what does that even mean? First things first, AI in Games is not going anywhere. The things you like about this channel are staying as they are, but they're all getting a bit of a facelift. Our 3 core video types will stay as they are. AI in Games is what you know and love, and it stays as it is, research and applications of AI in Games, with episode 70 rolling out this month as a deep dive into the evolution of the AI systems of The Last of Us Part 2. However, I have a little backlog of big episodes I wanted to cover, but I needed the time to do them right, and I think it's time I get those out of storage. Some big, high-profile topics are finally happening this year in 2023. Design Dive continues as a video essay series on AI with game design, with the Revisiting Evil series returning for part 4 as we discuss the first-person horror era of Capcom's beloved franchise, plus my series on Soulsborne games will continue later this year with Bloodborne. AI 101 continues to be the backbone of the channel, providing explanations and overviews of key AI technologies for those keen to learn a little more, with our next episode on how machine learning is transforming the industry in ways we previously couldn't have anticipated. But also, we've got not one, but 2 new series coming to the channel this year. One piece of feedback from the community was that you enjoy episodes on all things generative design, but procedural content generation videos often get lost in the sea of AI in games. So it's my pleasure to introduce Artifacts, the brand new series exclusively about procedural content generation. The first episode is a sit-down and interview with Joris Dormans, the creative director and programmer of Unexplored 2: The Wayfarer's Legacy, and how this roguelike procedurally generates entire 3D worlds, plus characters, histories, and storylines. This is in fact a sequel to episode 57 of AI in Games, in which I explored the original game, and I look forward to sharing it with you. But also, I wanted to look deeper into how games have been an ongoing aspect of AI research since the very beginning. And to explore those topics, we kick off a new series this year, The History of AI in Games, with our very first episode looking at the story of the supposed chess automaton, the Mechanical Turk. All of these episodes are in development and will be out in the coming months. But that's not all. I wanted to have a bit more of a fun outlet to explore the topics and ideas of AI in games while retaining the edutainment, if you will, of the main channel. And so with that, it's my pleasure to announce AIandGamesPlus, a new second channel that allows for new and wonderful offshoots that keep the core themes of what my work is about, but in an entirely new format. In keeping with the conventions of the main channel, the second channel has a flagship program called, wait for it, AIandGamesPlus. It's where I get to have a bit more fun, exploring the same topics as the main channel, but without the focus of it being a piece of educational content. This means we'll be exploring stuff we've never seen before on AI in Games, but also revisiting older topics, or simply doing tie-ins to what's happening on the main channel. The first episode of AI in Games Plus will be out later this month, and complements the upcoming Last of Us Part 2 episode by instead analysing the AI of The Last of Us Part 1, the remake of the original game, and how the AI has changed on account of the remake using the AI tools of the sequel. Next up, we have something completely different, but also strikingly familiar. A podcast! Branching Factor is a brand new podcast in which I sit down with my delightful crew of co-hosts, all of whom work either in the games industry or in games research, as we discuss big issues and our areas of interest with one another. Tune in for the opening episodes where I sit down with each of my wonderful co-hosts individually, Dr. Anne Sullivan, George Osborne, Dr. Mike Cook, and Quang in the coming weeks. The podcast will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more later this month. But AI in Games Plus is the home of the video version of this exciting new venture. Plus, no pun intended, I wanted to create a show where you have a bigger say in what makes the AI great in a given game. To that end, get ready for Player Choice, a new series in which you, the audience, get to decide on the best games in a given category, and we'll see whether your thoughts match up with mine. Our main episodes of Player Choice will be released on YouTube, but the actual elimination rounds will take place live on Twitch, so be sure to tune in and make your voice heard. Both Branching Factor and Player Choice will in fact be sponsored by the good folks over at Model AI, an AI gaming startup who I actually work for. They're supporting me in putting out this new content. If you're wondering who on earth Model AI is and why I'm willing to work with them, keep an eye out for a video later in the year on the main channel in which I go behind the scenes on the work they're doing and how they're part of the new wave of AI tools that are actually improving game development. Lastly, in amongst all this, my review series Smoke and Mirrors will have episodes out monthly as I discuss new games I'm playing and my musings about them. So there we have it. That's all the new stuff coming. It's a bit of a change, but it allows me to focus on the things I want to do the most, and heaven forbid, I might even have some fun along the way. And for me, one reason for some of these changes is to get content out to you but in a more sustainable way. Many of my episodes have been made late at night or over weekends given my other work responsibilities, and frankly that's not sustainable, especially when you consider this YouTube channel isn't that big in the grand scheme of things, and again, as mentioned, not financially profitable. The plan has always been to carve out a space that allows me to make more content, get support for that process, and allow me to pay my bills, provide for my family, and just, survive without having to crunch every episode. I'm not doing that anymore. And that might sound contradictory, given there's now more content coming to you than ever before, but the framework within which I can make my content has changed, and that enables for me to do more in a sustainable way. And the more that you, the audience, support what I'm doing, then the more I can do. In the long term, I have a lot more that I want to make, but the YouTube side of what I do needs to be more sustainable and better managed if I'm going to do it. I get requests a lot for tutorials and lecture-style material, and that's something I'm very keen to do. I would love to produce entire courses of material on how to build your own AI for games and take the stuff that I discuss in the main channel and show you how to do it yourself, leaning on the 10 years of experience I have as a university lecturer and more recently as an actual game developer. In fact, I've already done the research and put a rough plan together to produce over 100 hours of videos that covers everything from basic steering behaviours all the way to training machine learning for procedural content generation. It's something I'm keen to make a reality, but you can't make that kind of content one video at a time. It has to be dropped in bulk, hours of content at once, and that requires the YouTube side of what I'm doing to be more successful and more manageable. But all that said, the plan is to get there. And speaking of all that jazz, how can you help all of this grow and mature and develop? Tell you what, let's talk about how you can support AI in games in the simplest and easiest of ways without spending a penny. First up, be sure to subscribe to both AI in Games and AIandGamesPlus and watch yourself some videos. Super simple. I mean, you're doing it already, right? The more you watch, like, subscribe and comment helps push recommendations and gets it out there. The same applies to the Branching Factor podcast. Be sure to share it around when it goes live and review or rate on whichever podcast platform you happen to listen on. Are you on social media? Well then, posting and sharing all the stuff I do on the likes of Facebook, Twitter, Reddit and Discord servers can be a huge boost to help get eyes on the content to a broader audience. On that note, you can follow AI in Games on Twitter, Mastodon and TikTok to see my updates on recent episodes, and then you can share those posts. All of this stuff is effectively free in that it takes a minute out of your day, but it helps AI in Games get out there in the eyes of more people, and you help make that a reality. Plus, it throws a bit of monetization my way, and in fact, AIandGamesPlus needs more people to watch it before it will be monetized, so go watch all the new stuff. That would be super helpful. If you're in a position to donate to AI in Games and help it grow, then the best route is via Patreon. My Patreon community have been such a huge boon to me and my work over the years, and without them I wouldn't still be doing this, quite frankly. Not just because of their support, but sometimes without that sponsorship I wouldn't have had the money to keep going. Right now, the funds from Patreon are being used to carve out more time for me to create content, while also hiring in people to help elevate the quality of my work. This includes the likes of graphical designers, artists, sound designers, and more. If the Patreon can grow sufficiently, I'd love to get in people to work on subtitles and dubs for non-English speakers, an editor to help speed up production, and even do crazy new video ideas that, without that backing, would be suicidal for a content creator trapped in this recommendation limbo that I live in. Today, the Patreon is relaunching with a bunch of new features. While the monthly newsletter, patron-only Discord area, early access, and name in the credits remain, there's a bunch of new stuff to coincide with the change of the YouTube output. This includes ad-free episodes of Branching Factor, top-tier credits and shoutouts, new exclusive merchandise, and the creation of the AI in Games production team. A new setup where we will have meetings on Discord to propose and discuss video topics, submit your own ideas on what you want to see across both channels, and help steer each season of player choice as it happens. If Patreon isn't your thing, you can also use the YouTube options. Becoming a YouTube member gets some of the same perks as patrons, with names in the credits and early access to new videos. And it's all just a button click away. Plus you can leave tips on episodes using the Super Thanks feature, which is kind of awesome. Not to mention, you can follow, donate and subscribe on Twitch as well, as I'll be back live streaming on a more regular basis in 2023 as part of the Player Choice series and more. Plus, this week sees the release of the new AI in Games merch store, so if you fancy a nice t-shirt or a mug emblazoned with AI in Games iconography, head on over to AIandGames.com/store and you can see what's on offer. So, it's about time to wrap up, and I hope you're as excited about all this new stuff as I am in putting it all together. Naturally, you might have questions, and if you do, shout out in the comments and I'll be happy to respond. But of course, the first thing on your mind is probably when can we start to see all this shiny new content? Well, here's what to expect this month. Episode 70 of AI in Games on The Last of Us 2 on the main channel. Meanwhile, over on AIandGamesPlus you can expect to see the first episode of Branching Factor, which will go live as a video version, plus the audio-only versions will go live on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and many more. The first episode of AI in Games Plus on The Last of Us Part 1 will also be out in January, and then join me in early February for the start of the first season of Player Choice and the second episode of AI in Games Plus, which is a deep dive into a specific part of the AI in The Last of Us Part 2. Meanwhile, in the next couple of months, you can expect more Design Dive, AI 101 and the first episodes of the history of AI in games and artifacts coming to the main channel. This new direction will continue for a time, and we're going to see how well it pays off. If it leads to more videos and better engagement, great! But I'm more focused on strengthening the community that has surrounded this channel in the past couple of years than craving new people to hit that subscribe button. Though, let's be honest, that's also pretty handy. The past 10 years of my career have been defined by my time in academia as a published researcher, as a lecturer, and ultimately as a deliverer of learning. And along the way, it has led to some weird and wonderful experiences, including the creation of this equally weird and wonderful YouTube experiment. My personal goal right now is that, going forward, AI in games will define the next 10 years of my career, and hopefully take me on some new exciting journeys and ultimately allow me to continue to do what I enjoy, which is making stuff for all you lovely people, and to eventually move towards returning to teaching, but in my own way. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about all the new things coming up on AI in games. As you can imagine, there's plenty for me to be doing, so I'll leave it to you. All the links to the second channel, the podcast, the Patreon, the new merch store, and everything else are in the video description. Please check them out. And with that, you take care of yourselves, and I'll be back.